Hello, hello. I guess I should check, right? The old one.
See, that was a trick. You got to find it.
Yeah, I know. Here's the replay from Linda. Here it is.
There I am.
Look at that.
You find it?
Yep. Welcome to the chat.
There I am. That don't seem really
Look at that.
clear. Find it?
Yep.
It don't seem really clear. Find it? You have to turn it down or it gets feedback.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Forget about
Okay.
that. All right.
Put this
Yeah.
down here.
Here's some people.
Okay. I'm assuming everybody can hear me. Yeah, it's cleared up now. It was kind of, I think I might have put a fingerprint on that lens up there. Okay. I know we're running a little bit late. Everybody can hear us okay? I'm assuming.
Hello, hello. I think so.
Becky says hi.
Craig
Becky
says clear
yes.
now.
Yeah. Or she says yes, she can
Oh,
hear us.
look.
So, okay.
Catherine has a coat too.
All right. Well, we're here with Craig Morrison for all you guys that may have the Medicare questions, Medicaid questions, Florida insurance questions, the ratings of all the different hospitals. He knows that too. So fire away, whatever you need to. Oh, I want to ask some questions of my own before I get in
Let
there.
me start this one here. Because of compliance reasons with Medicare and all that, I have to read this just so you're fully informed. I am not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or the federal Medicare program. I do not offer every plan in your area. Any information I provide today is limited to education only. Plan-specific information can be shared during an individual appointment with me. And if you do have any other questions, you can always contact medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE for more information. All right, got that out of the way. Good. So your question.
So you think somebody's going to sue us here? I'm in my back porch.
No, not sue you. Take my license away.
What license? You need a license?
Yeah, I need a license.
I
need a license with the state of Florida. I need a license with Medicare. I got to do a AHIP certification every year.
You need that license to sell
and service.
We're not servicing anything. We're just giving advice.
We're educational. Oh. I just want to make sure everybody knows that.
Anyway. My question is I went to labs a couple days ago, and I was talking to them girls in there, because there's one that I know, and we get to the back room where it's kind of quiet. You know, she'll say a few things here, and they're nervous. They don't know exactly what's going to happen here during the transition, even though I thought the transition had already happened. Mm-hmm. They said, no, it hasn't happened yet. They're still doing things, I guess. You know what I've got? United Health Advantage, and I haven't had a problem with it in the 11 years that I've had it here. But now all this transition and money coming up missing and everything, people can accuse them. I don't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. I just know something here's not right. It don't sound right to me. And should I move to a Humana or just wait it out and see what happens?
For a particular cause, which is unknown at this point, just remember, it's unknown at this point, I wouldn't jump based on speculation. I would only consider moving my plan is if the other plan that you were considering had better benefits, maybe a higher maximum out of pocket, lower copays. Maybe there's a doctor in the network that isn't at the Village's Health that you might want to go to. I wouldn't base it on speculation as far as a corporate. From my perspective, and again, this is only from the knowledge that I have, I reached out to Humana and I asked them that very similar question, and they assured me that everything would be status quo. Of course, with corporate America, it's status quo until otherwise. But as of right now, there's 55,000 patients in the Village's Health system, and for them to limit your selections to one particular company, I think would be just, ordering in chaos, to be honest. So I don't think for this next year, 2026, which by the way, we are approaching the annual enrollment period very quickly, October 15th through December 7th. That's when you can make a change that will go into effect January 1st. So I would say for this next plan year, that because they don't make changes outside of the plan year, I would assume everything would stay the same. That's my opinion, professional opinion.
I'm already getting a new doctor.
Of course, you told us about your tales of new doctor every time you
doctor
go for a
number
visit.
4.
Yeah. And who knows? This could have an influence on somebody wanting to work for WellPoint Humana. Maybe there's a doctor in the system right now that had a bad taste in their mouth about them. Who knows? They're going to have a new employer, so I'm sure they're going to evaluate whether they're going to stay. And I'm talking about the medical professionals. That's a whole nother aspect.
So is there any advantage for a guy like me to go back to standard Medicare with a supplement?
There could be, and I say could be because making a move, and this actually answers one of the questions that one of your Discord members had that they put in Discord for me. So I'll tackle that at the same time. We'll kill two birds with one stone. You can make a shift from, let's just say, original Medicare. So if you decided just to stay with your Part A and your Part B and a drug plan and didn't get a Medicare Advantage and didn't get a Medicare supplement, you can make changes. However, there's something called guaranteed insurability. And for some of us, now that I'm Medicare age, that window for enrollment may have passed. I should say automatic enrollment, no pre-existing conditions, things of that nature. You can still get a Medicare supplement or a Medigap policy, even if you're past 65 years of age, but you are subject to medical underwriting. And basically what that means is they're not going to take blood and urine and all that they do with life insurance, but they are going to ask you about 12 questions about your medical history, recent medical history within the last 5 to 10 years. And if you answer yes to any of those questions, you're automatically knocked out.
What are the questions?
There's about 12 of them. I'll tell you, they all center around chronic disease, typically.
What's a chronic disease?
Do you have a cardiovascular history that you're under, care for? Diabetic? If you have a lung disorder like
AIDS?
Yes.
I had it once. But it went away.
HIV and AIDS. Actually, chronic mental health.
Yeah,
I was going to give that one to you, but if you want to take the AIDS one,
mental health.
Either one.
I'm not
you
there.
Can be any of them.
I'm not there yet, but that's subject for questioning.
Sure. But yeah, they've got to be. Put it this way. Let's pull back the curtain. The reason why it's not guaranteed issue after a certain point is because if they know you have a chronic illness, they know that they're going to have to be paying out claims. That's the bottom line. So they reserve the right to be able to issue you a Medigap, Medicare supplement policy after 65 and 8 months, 65 years old and 8 months, based on a guarantee. They'll still let you do it, but you have to pass the medical.
Is that the reason why people say that if you're going to get on standard Medicare with a supplement, do it when you first retire? Because
by all means,
then you don't have to.
By all means, when you first of all, you have to be over 65 years of age. The second thing is you have to have the Part B Medicare. You have 8 months from that effective date to actually sign up for Medigap. I'll tell you a little trick too that some people use, and this is more for people who are turning 65. You can turn 65, get on a Medicare Advantage plan, okay? And within 12 months, you can shift over to Medigap, okay? But again, sometimes those ships have sailed. So at this point in time, let's just say you're 66 years of age or older. If you're interested in getting a Medigap policy, you would have to have some medical underwriting. And I can provide a list of those questions to you all if you want to put something in the chat or what have you. One other thing you can do, and you might find this to be true in the coming years, more and more companies are dropping plans. So in other words, they're not just changing them, but they're actually dropping particular plans. If you had a Medicare Advantage plan, let's just say here in the Villages, you go to the Villages Health, things like that. One of those companies decided to drop one of those plans and replace it with another. That gives you an opportunity as well to go on a Medicare supplement. And I keep a real close eye on that for my clients, is if I see them, the companies that we're with, drop their plan, I always ask them if they want to get into a Medicare supplement now, because there's an exception being made for them.
I have another question, but I forgot what it was. But until then, Ford guy says, I have a question about Social Security. How much can I take out of my annuity before it affects my Medicare? Sorry, he said Medicaid at first, but
okay. There is
well, if you're not 65,
is this
there is
well
a limit,
what he
right?
Yeah, well, no, what he's talking about is everybody, regardless of whether you stay with original Medicare, do Medicare Advantage, or do Medigap, you have to have Part B Medicare, okay? You get A automatically if you've worked 40 quarters in your life, which most people have. But you have to have that Part B. Well, that Part B comes with a premium, okay? It's paid directly to Medicare, and the way it's calculated is annually on your tax return from 2 years prior. So in other words, there's a 2-year look back. So for 2025, for instance, the premium that you're paying right now is based on your 2023 income tax return. So I have an IRMA, it's called IRMA, IRMMA, an IRMA schedule that shows basically, depending on how much you make, what your particular premium is going to be. Okay, so again, if you want me to supply that to you, be more than happy to work out what your specific situation is. Just leave a comment in the chat, some way for me to get a hold of you, and I will do that.
Become a Discord member.
Yeah, become a Discord member. Little plug, like shameless plug. But no, that's a very good question, because distributions from your 401k, from your annuities, your IRAs, things of that nature, those are income you're going to pay income tax on unless they're a Roth. Okay, so if it's taxable income that you're receiving and that you're going to get a 1099 on at the end of the year from your retirement companies, you're going to include that in your tax return, and that's what they're going to look at to determine your Part B premium. So I hope I answered that well enough. Like I said, it is table driven, so I can supply that schedule for you if you'd like.
I've got Advantage with United Health.
Mm-hmm.
Is there other Advantage plans that are better than the one I've got?
So that's where we go from marketing to sales. Okay.
Oh, you can't talk about that?
No, well, in general, I can.
Well, I know AAA's got it. Is it AAA?
They don't have it.
AA.
Yeah, AARP.
AARP.
Which is United Health.
Okay, yeah, it is.
It is.
Oh, well, never mind.
But let me just give a broad, define better. Okay, so let me just tell you this. There are plenty of other companies and plans within those companies that are going to give you different benefits. Okay, they're all about the same, but what changes is, like I mentioned before, like a copay. You want to go to a specialist. Well, one plan might charge you 20, one might charge you 30. Your maximum out of pocket, which is a great safety net, which means that's the most you're ever going to pay in your worst health year, the maximum out of pocket. Those could change. Those, or they could be different. Some, let you go to CVS and buy your over-the-counter. Some let you go to Walgreens. So really what happens in what I call a sales appointment, a discovery appointment with me is we sit down and you define for me what's better. And then that way I can show you, well, maybe this plan you should consider. Actually, Mr. Smith right here is engaging in that process right now. So we're in the midst of doing that with his plan and looking it over. Again, doesn't mean he has to change. There's got to be a good reason in my mind, as well as his, whether he should change.
Well, you already know my priorities. I had two.
Yeah.
One of them was to keep my copays down as low as possible. That's probably everybody's priority.
Right.
And then the other one was to make sure that if I have a heart attack in San Francisco, it covers me out there.
Exactly.
Because some plans don't, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's pretty common. You've got situations where you want to be able to see the doctors that you're accustomed to, or at least the system. You want to make sure that you're not going to be bankrupted if you have a catastrophic incident. The third one typically is medications. People want to make sure that your medications are covered and actually what the prices are going to be, because I also counsel my clients in how to fill your medications. Just because you have a drug plan doesn't mean you have to use it. There are alternatives like GoodRx, the Canadian Pharmacy, direct primary care. And then if you're not taking it for a long-term chronic condition, ask your provider for samples. They have samples. I know a lot of pharmaceutical people and their trunk is full. So I know they have samples. I wouldn't ask, though, your provider, if you're on lisinopril and you're going to be on it forever, to ask for samples. But if they say, hey, let's try this for 3 months, see if it works, then I would probably ask for samples and you wouldn't have to pay anything.
Medicare pay for marijuana?
No.
It's a medicine.
Now,
it's legal.
I say no because it's not in their formulary. The formulary is like the Bible. They look up, is it in here? Yes, we're going to cover it. There are exceptions to the formulary. There's a whole process that you can go through and ask if your medication is not in the formulary that they consider it. And it's a consider one-on-one basis. Just because they approve it for you doesn't mean that they're going to approve it for me. So the answer is no, but
maybe
you could get a formulary exemption.
Laura says, today is my Medicare eligibility day. I thought she retired a long time ago. Oh, well, anyway, I took traditional Medicare, Florida or Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, Plan G supplement. Tomorrow is my first doctor appointment under Medicare.
Great.
Well, I don't know what, was there a question in there?
Was there?
I don't know.
No, hey, we're gonna rejoice with you. You made it through the gauntlet. You crossed the finish line.
What's Plan G?
Plan G is one of the Medigap or Medicare supplements.
Do I have that?
No,
Oh,
you don't
okay.
have Okay.
Oh, she got traditional.
It's the Cadillac of Medigap policies. Remember, the main difference between an Advantage plan and a Medigap plan is the fact that a Medigap plan charges a premium every month, whether you use it or not. Okay? So it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But what it does do is it allows you to go to see just about any doctor, anywhere,
Well, I'm confused
anytime.
because I don't have that, and I got a premium I got to pay every month.
Right.
So what's the difference?
So the premium you're paying is probably the Part B Medicare premium.
$167 a month. That's all I know.
Okay. So that's everybody pays that.
Okay.
Okay, you can't get out of that. But the Medigap, again, anywhere, anytime, anyone you can see. And that's one of the
Should I have that?
That's what we talked about in the beginning.
Oh, you're still studying all this.
Well, but at the beginning, when one of your Discord members, I think from Alabama,
Judy?
Basically asked that question, which is a great question, because some people get into a Medicare Advantage situation and they go, you know what? Either I'm getting less healthy, or I really want to go to who I want to see. The provider networks here are very generous, but there are some situations, somebody gets cancer. Maybe they want to go to MD Anderson in Houston. Okay, maybe they want to go to Mount Sinai in New York. Those are things that you can do with a Medigap plan. So,
Anne Marie says, Florida insurance question. How long do we have to live in Florida before we can purchase a policy through the state exchange?
So when you say state exchange, basically what you're talking about under 65-year-old plans. Originally called Obamacare, now called Affordable Care Act or Marketplace. The minute that you land in Florida, and I will say, let's be real specific here because I don't want to get you in any trouble. When you change your driver's license to Florida, or your utility bill is in your address here, is the time that I would shift over, because they're going to ask you for proof of domicile, and you actually have 60 days from the time that you do one of those two things, license or utility bill. You have up to 60 days to change. But you can do it immediately. If your first stop isn't a golf cart dealership, and it's DMV, whatever's on your license, whatever address, as long as it's Florida, you'll be good to go.
Well, then she goes on to say, or is it even worth it to purchase a policy through the state for under 2 years?
Yes. I think, again, we go from, very broad to granular. So very broad is here, granular is when we meet. Based on your particular situation, one of the things I would look at is if your income is going to allow you to get a subsidy or what they call a discount, then by all means, it's worth doing it, because any other coverage you get probably is going to be more expensive, and you're probably going to end up with the same company. So in other words, do I go ahead and get a new policy before I turn 65 through the exchange? Yes, I would go through that first. There's a chance that you're going to get a subsidy and pay less than the rack rate, the top rate that just anybody going to them would be. The downside is you may end up there anyway if you make too much money. But I can help you navigate that as far as that goes and determine not only if you get a subsidy, but probably based on what you've been used to with your coverage, what the best plan is to go ahead and apply for.
Who would have thought Medicare would be so difficult? I don't think it was this difficult for my mom and dad.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing it a while, and I will say my first year was not fun. It was, sometimes I was wondering why I was doing what I was doing. And then, after experiencing it, some of these doctors ought to prescribe me for anxiety, because a lot of people have gone into this process just very fearful thinking they're going to make the worst mistake of their life. It's going to have to live with it forever. And that's not the case. And you know, it's just the fact that I know what's going on. I do a lot of reps, have a lot of clients, so I see a lot of different situations. I'm not afraid to learn something new or to stay abreast of what's going on. And that's...
You said breast.
Abreast. He forgot to tell you one of his criteria for his plan. He told me off camera was how good looking the nurses were. Right? Did you forget that?
I don't recall saying that, but that's okay. That one gal up there, she's pretty good looking. I mean, you know, she got like 4 kids though. I mean, like at my age, I need kids. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Barry Lance says, my employer is telling me, well, first of all, if the employer is telling him, I would take that with a grain of salt.
Employer, government, yeah. Employer, government.
Don't trust either one of them. Anyway, so my employer is telling me that I have to sign up for Medicare Part D at the age of 65 or I will be penalized for life. Is that correct? Or is my HR making stuff up?
No, they're probably not making stuff up, and it's a, pardon my French, a CYA move on their part, but it's protecting you as well. They do not have a qualified health plan as far as Part D goes. So in other words, if they had a health plan and a drug plan that was qualified according to Medicare, you would not be in a situation where you had to pick up Part D. So you might have drug coverage right now, but it's not at the level that Medicare requires. And because of that, you have to pick up a Part D prescription drug plan.
Well, let me ask you this. With all the changes that's being made, especially now with the government being shut down, is there any major changes coming up on Medicare on the new year, next year?
Next year, no. So for 2026, which again, if you do nothing, you're going to have the same plan you had this year. If you look at your plan and review it with a professional and determine there's a change to be made, you'll do that during the annual enrollment period, October 15th through December 7th, and it'll take effect on January 1st. But bottom line is no, there are no major changes. And if there were changes, you should have received what they call an ANOC, Annual Notice of Change. And that will tell you what changes are going to be made for the coming year. Usually they're very minor, like they might change the copay amount. The provider networks typically stay the same. But what we're seeing a trend and what the talk is for the 2027 new year is that a lot of plans are going to pull out. Again, based on what I said about Medigap and one of the windows that will open up for you if you want to get on Medigap, if that happens to you, if you have a plan and they say, hey, we're not going to have that plan next year. Again, this won't happen until 2027 probably. Then you can get a Medigap policy then without any medical underwriting. But changes down the road are going to include probably a lot of companies pulling out, sunsetting, eliminating HMO Medicare Advantage plans. That's the word on the street, is that there'll be less.
Well, basically, isn't that what an Advantage plan is, an HMO?
No, an Advantage plan comes in 2 varieties, HMO and PPO.
Which one have I got?
You have a PPO.
That sounds dirty.
And technically speaking, there is, I should be fully disclosed here, there is what they call an HMO, you're going to love this one, HMO POS plan. Now,
well, they got the POS probably right.
And it's not the POS he and Jose are thinking about, but that's a hybrid. It's offered by one company, but pretty much you've got to get HMO or PPO with a Medicare Advantage. Yep.
And that's not to be changed in any way?
Like I said, I think you're going to find different companies pulling their HMO plans out. They're just not profitable.
I only care about one company, and that's the Village's health system.
Now, they'll still have a PPO. As far as we know, the Village's Health will still accept it. So
nationwide.
Yes, you got the little suitcase on your card.
Do I?
If you look at it, yeah.
I've never looked at the
Little
card.
Suitcase means you can go anywhere you want.
I have to look.
Yeah. So it's always good to.
Half the time, they got the wrong doctor's name on my card.
Well, it changes so much.
It does. And the one that's on there now is like an Indian name.
Yeah.
Rashim, Rashad, whatever the hell the name is. But the doctor that's coming on a new card is going to be David something.
Hey, the good thing about that is they're not going to turn you away because you have a PPO. And if you ever go through one of the Village's Health dog and pony shows, when you go take a tour of one of their 8 standalone clinics, they're going to tell you that. Hey, we have electronic records, and you can go to any one of our locations. So you can go to the Taco Bell here, or here, or here. That's
true and it ain't true. If I pick a doctor, when you go to their webpage, it tells you to go to pick a doctor. If that doctor's working out of that clinic there, that's where I have to go.
I know.
So if I say I want to stay at Pinellas, this is where I go, then I have to take the doctors that are taking patients there.
Right.
And that's how I ended up with Dr. Rashim Rashad.
Yeah. It doesn't completely play out, but what they're doing is they're just trying to convince you that the convenience and of locations within the villages is going to promote or be promoted by or supported by your lifestyle.
So,
right, buddy?
What's IRMA?
IRMA is it's actually a chart. I wish I knew the actual.
Well, the question is, IRMA has a 2-year look back, correct?
Yes, that is correct. So for your what you've been paying for 2025 for your Part B Medicare premium is based on your 2023 income tax return. Your 2026 will be based on the 2024, and it continues to roll over. What I see a lot of times is somebody maybe has retired from a very lucrative job. They have a really high W2, and that first year or the first couple of years are in Medicare, they've got an inflated Part B. But after that smooths out and you just start taking distributions from your pension, your IRA, 401k, things like that to make ends meet, then you're going to see that premium drop as far as that goes. A lot of people, too, that sell homes that aren't their principal residence and haven't been in them for 2 years, they might have a capital gains situation. Again, that goes on your tax return, so that could influence your Part B premium. Anything that goes on your tax return is going to affect your Part B premium.
So basically you're saying the more you make, the more you'll spend.
The more they'll charge you.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's never went up.
Yeah. That's because he's a good money manager. Everything is level.
You have to ask Sue about it. I have no idea. No
spikes.
Ford guy. Question. I'm looking for questions.
Okay. I got something too that, as far as a little tip for this year, something that I personally ran across for my own coverage. There are some plans out there that are Medicare Advantage plans. So don't get me wrong. There's still the basic chassis of a Medicare Advantage plan, but not so much what you can do, but what's already been done, you can benefit from. What do I mean by that? Well, as far as health concerns, there are several different plans that, again, have the same basic chassis, but could save you money on your Part B premium or your medications or both. And one of the big ones is called a C-SNP. And a C-SNP is a chronic special needs plan. So if you have diabetes, cardiovascular disorder, end-stage renal failure, HIV, AIDS, neurological disorders, or a chronic and disabling mental condition, you could actually qualify for that, and you would get better benefits than what you currently have. Case in point, I'll use myself, okay?
Mental disorder.
Other than the mental disorder, which still is at, the jury's still out on that. I was diagnosed, I have a high A1C, and I was diagnosed with diabetes, okay?
Oh, stage, like beginning stage?
Yeah. Oh. So I have metformin. I know this is not HIPAA compliant, but it's me that's telling you, it's my record. I'm on metformin and Mounjaro, just one of those two. If I had stayed on my normal plan with the company that I selected, I would be paying a lot more money for my Mounjaro than I would currently. And all I had to do was call up the company or my broker, which happens to be me, and tell them. And you'd be surprised. It went from $200 and something a month to $47, just to give you an idea. So don't just think because you have one of those illnesses and have been diagnosed that you have to stick with the same plan that you've had for years. You could do that, have the basic same plan, but if we reclassify it as a chronic special needs plan, you're going to get some breaks on your medication and possibly even your Medicare Part B premium may be reduced. So I wanted to give a little tip because, it seems like, I don't know if it's birds of a feather flock together, but, anybody you talk to, oh, my A1C was about 6, and my doctor says I'm pre-diabetic, and I got to do metformin twice a day, and he's talking about this Ozempic and Mounjaro and all this sort of stuff. Well, if that is the case, definitely talk to your broker or financial professional. If you don't have one, I am taking on new clients, and we can get you switched and save you some money. That's my tip for the day.
I'm pre-dead.
You're pre-dead. Okay. Yeah. There's nothing for pre-dead. There's some assisted living places you might want to look at, but no.
How about $1 million policy with no physical? Can I get one?
No.
Oh,
no, gee. I don't think so.
I mean, that advertisement I saw on TV was a lie?
It's a lie, yeah. $1 million, no. Definitely not. So.
Patrick says, with the upcoming changes to Medicare, how high will premiums be? I don't know. I have no idea.
The premiums for Part B?
It doesn't say.
Premiums for Part B change every year. We're going to know, I haven't looked at my news feed today. It usually comes out before October 15th, what the next year is going to be. Just to give you an example, like it was, it's 185 now is the minimum. I think last year it was 174.70. So in other words, it went up about $11 last year. I have seen it come down. Sometimes it follows the Social Security increases, the COLAs. So if you see, an increase in the COLA, cost of living adjustment for your Social Security, chances are you're probably going to see an increase in your Medicare premium. That's the way it's been tracking the last several years, as far as that goes.
Question: how do you feel about current Florida coaching?
Oh gosh! I said this was an educational thing. You're getting close to my affecting my mental health with that question.
Why is Florida Gators not doing good?
No, they're not doing good. No,
you're kidding.
Everything seems to be resting on the head coach, which I guess it should be. If you earn $9 million a year and don't produce a good product, regardless of who you are, a football coach or CEO of a company, probably people are looking at getting you replaced, and that's where we are right now.
I don't think there's any coach worth $9 million a year.
You'd be surprised.
Even in professional football.
Yeah.
That's what prices people out.
Well, there's a lot of people. Big game this weekend. Texas comes to Florida for the first time. Arch Manning, all that sort of stuff. So it should be interesting. I just hope it doesn't rain. But
I have never heard of none of them names you just mentioned.
Yep. That's okay.
And I haven't lost any sleep yet.
That's good. Some days I wish I didn't either.
God damn it. I have to sign in again.
Okay, let me see.
It's not a big deal. Okay, where was we left off at? My friend turns 65 next June here in Illinois. Why is the S silent in Illinois?
I don't know.
It's there. If they wanted it silent, they just wouldn't even put it in there.
Like the G in Nat.
Gannett?
Gannett. I don't know.
Her employer has more than 20 employees.
Uh-huh.
Can her employer stop offering her health insurance and force her to go on Medicare? I'm going to say, because I know what UPS did a lot, I'm going to say the answer to that is yes.
In general, it's no.
No.
They cannot force you to do that. You can defer, okay? You can defer your Part B enrollment, which would lead to Medicare, whether you did an Advantage, did nothing, or did a Medicare supplement. They can't force you to do that. So basically what that does is you can forego, put off that decision as long as you're employed with an employer who has 20 or more employees indefinitely. I'm not going to tell you where this gentleman lives, but a referral from Skip and Sue a few years back, the guy was, I think he was 83, and it was the first time he had signed up for Medicare because his employer had been paying for his, he was in academics, higher learning institution. And so, yeah, you can defer that as long as you want. Now, getting back to a previous comment on the channel here, if that Part D plan that they have, if their drug plan, even though they have 20 or more employees, if their drug plan doesn't, meet the requirements of Medicare's drug plan, you may be forced to do a Part D. But in most cases, I will tell you, in most cases I've encountered, you can defer that decision as long as you want. Obviously, they want you to go on Medicare. The reason why, they're not having to pick up the tab for paying your portion of the premium for health insurance.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Jeffrey Whittinghill, Jeffrey, I see, and I'm glad you brought this up, as far as the SSA 44. Yes, you don't have to take that IRMA value that comes out of the calculation. Remember, IRMA is the 2-year look back. It provides the calculation for your Part B premium. You can appeal that, okay? Appeals might be a large lump sum because of the need, maybe a financial hardship that you had to take out a bunch of money. Okay, it might be for health, of one of your loved ones. I don't think they have an actual list, but it's got to be a hardship type condition. Basically, not so much, oh, I just made a lot of money in my last few years of employment. That's usually not going to be, an appeal that they're going to approve. But again, if you have a lump sum situation, you had to, do something for a loved one. Usually it's around the health scenarios where somebody's in the hospital, you had to help them out. But yeah, you can definitely appeal. The appeals are there. It's just like the marijuana, okay? You can appeal. You can say, okay, you guys don't cover this, but I want to appeal it and just see what the outcome is as far as that goes. Let's see. Oh yeah, great. Okay, wrestler. This is another good one of those kind of an exception to the rule. Most people think that you can only get Medicare if you're 65 or over. But there are provisions for people with disabilities, end-stage renal failure. With a disability, typically you have to get disability income benefits from the government for at least 24 months before they allow that. So I have quite a few people who are under 65 who are disabled. They're receiving Social Security disability income, and they are eligible for Medicare. far as that goes. So good. I'm glad that worked out for you, wrestler. Okay, Mary, you're talking about TRICARE for life. Is it still okay with Part A and B? Most definitely. Congratulations. And thank you so much for your service and protecting me and my family from the tyranny of evil. Whoever served, whether it's you or your husband or both of you, thank you so much.
I want to know who the evil is.
Yeah, I know it's hard to determine these days, right? But the TRICARE, perfect. Never let it go. Just hold on to that for dear life. You do have to have Part B though, and it sounds like you have A and B. So congrats for you. TRICARE for life. Also, the federal insurance, the federal employee health benefit, FEHB, is another one like that. Hang on to that for dear life. Just make sure you enroll in Part B, because that's the TRICARE is in essence your Medicare Advantage, your Medicare supplement. Same with FEHB. So yeah, thank you, Mary, for that.
But you've said before that you think TRICARE is like the best of the best of what's out there.
Well, it is, and arguably, but in my mind, rightfully so. I mean, these are benefits.
But I'm going to ask, what makes it the best of the best?
Just the way that any particular plan would consider to be favorable. Provider network.
No copays?
Well, yeah. Copay, the level of copays, the level of maximum amount, but really the provider network.
I got a question.
Probably a big
What's the difference between a copay and out of pocket?
Same thing.
Why do they call it two different things then?
Well, that's a good question. I don't, a copayment is copay is short for copayment. Other out-of-pocket expenses, could be a deductible.
What
could be a premium.
Defines that this has got to go as copay, and then something else comes in? Oh, then this has to go to out-of-pocket.
Okay, that's a good question. So usually the overarching final say is Medicare covered. So if Medicare covers a particular treatment that you're getting or what have you, a surgery, something like that, then these Medicare Advantage plans, these Medigap plans are going to cover it as well. Really, that's, if you do have something, I would say a typical out-of-pocket that you're not going to find in most Medicare Advantage plans is a deductible, okay? These are usually zero premium plans that do not have a deductible. So right off the bat, everything is covered. So you're not really going to have many out-of-pocket that aren't copayments. Now, if you have a non-FDA approved procedure done to you somewhere on the border of Mexico and New Mexico.
What kind of procedure would that be?
Wink, wink. You don't know which side of the border you're on, and you present that, it's not going to get paid.
I just look for the American flag, yeah. And I know.
So it's not, yeah. So it has to be, and that's why some of these drugs and medical treatments, just be careful. If you've got a particular drug that you're using and it's very expensive, you don't have to use your drug plan. You have to have it, but you don't have to use it. If GoodRx is cheaper, every pharmacy tech has that price right on their computer. They know exactly how much it costs. If sometimes the manufacturer of the drug will give you a break. Although, unfortunately, once people hit 65, less and less of the manufacturers are giving that break to seniors.
Oh, we're getting that break now. So, Trump is negotiating it.
So
he came on TV last night and said that some drug that whoever it was, these guys know who, they probably watch more than I do, that it's supposed to be something like 1,000% started yesterday. He says it starts immediately 1,000% cheaper than what it was.
Right.
Did you have any idea that we were subsidizing worldwide drugs?
Of course.
I didn't know that.
We're subsidizing everything, aren't we?
Well, because I had the same question that other people said. Why is it so much cheaper there than here? It's the same. I figured it was just our taxes eats us up.
Right.
But I didn't know that we were subsidizing it.
Right, right. But again, there are some drugs, usually osteoporosis, females out there, ladies out there, that do have a manufacturer. And the only thing I can think of is, again, it's dollars and cents. If they feel that a person over 65 is more apt to use their drug regularly, like osteoporosis, they're going to put a line in the sand and say, if you're under 65, we'll give you the $15 card. If not, you're going to pay whatever your insurance company.
What's a $15 card?
They have they call it a copay card. So they'll let you use their card at the pharmacy, and it'll cost you like $15.
Like a discount? Yeah. I think Sue gets something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. The other thing is, you probably, if you're watching any sort of TV, YouTube, Instagram, any of that, you're seeing these commercials about these food cards.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've already had questions about that.
Let me put this to rest. You will get a food card if you have one of those special needs plans. Okay, so the chronic special needs plan, diabetes, cardiovascular, lung, HIV, mental disorder, you'll probably get a card.
I have all that.
If not, you've got to be on Medicaid as well as Medicare. And I'm not making any predispositions
you can't be on both,
here.
Can you?
Yes.
You
called
can?
A dual SNP.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, people, again, I'm making a big presumption here, but I know most people in this area make too much money, okay, or have assets. So it's a income and assets level for Medicaid. If you fall below it, you're eligible. If you don't get it. Okay. So, these commercials just resounding in your ears about getting your
food card.
They do give them out. It's not a scam, okay? But who they give them out to is based on whether or not you're Medicaid eligible or have one of these C-SNP chronic needs plans.
Yeah, I think most people that I know anyway would look at that and go, well, it'd be nice to get it, but if I get it, what do I have to give up to get it? And so they think they got to buy a cheaper insurance or something. I don't know.
Denise, good thing you got your ANOC. They got it to you right before the deadline. I'm not going ANOC, annual notice of change. But I'm not going to mention your carrier. But again, if you have a broker, I would suggest that you reach out to him or her, go over those changes, and see if there's something else that might be better for next year. It could be better within the same company. I'm not saying you have to switch companies. I'm just saying it's a good time to look at the changes that are going to occur. So let's see if we get any more. Kimberly, you are welcome. I always love to disseminate information, and if I could do it with more people at one time, that's what I like to do. So let's see.
Jeffrey, did you get this one? It says, if you retire and will have a lower income that year compared to the look back period of 2 years, complete appeal from SSA 44 to lower your Part B and D IRMA.
Right. Yeah.
I have no idea what I just read. You already got that?
I got that.
Okay.
Terry R., you've got some issues coming up where your particular proposed prescribed medications are going to be astronomical. The chronic plans will help that as far as that goes. One thing I will also caution you on is make sure, it's just like buying any big ticket item, okay? You're going to buy a car, a golf cart, a refrigerator, you're going to enclose your lanai, whatever it might be, you're probably going to get a few bids, okay? So even though what you've seen is astronomical, make sure you look at all the different plans and all the different ways to pay for those prescribed drugs, the proposed prescribed drugs, and I definitely hope you have full healing from whatever you're encountering. But again, those are some of the things that I do in the discovery meeting. And again, all of my advice is free of charge as far as that goes. By law, it's free of charge.
So right now, with all the different ratings that's come out since the last time we did a rating show, when the new people took over the Villages Hospital and they had a rating of like 1 out of 5,
Mm-hmm.
are they all still?
Yeah, well, there's no major changes. The only major changes is the infiltration, I guess is a good way to put it. I won't say encroachment because people can put hospitals up anywhere they want, right? They have to be approved. But I think some of your more reputable hospitals are coming in, Advent Health, HCA, they all have interest, obviously, in this area. I mentioned that there's 55,000 Villages Health patients, so that leaves, what, 135,000 or less, where, they're getting their health care somewhere else. And whether that be primary care or specialists, emergency room, surgical centers, or full-blown hospitals, you are going to see the quality of care improve, not just in those 2 locations, but also across the board. It's just that competitive scenario.
People are talking about my prostate.
I know.
You know what? I bet they heard me peeing in there.
Somebody said something about that.
Because I left the mic on.
Yeah, they said either you're pouring water or you're peeing.
I'm peeing.
Oh, he's peeing. Okay.
I'm peeing.
Well, we got that taken care of.
Hey, I trust all you guys, so I take you to the bathroom with me.
Oh my gosh. Gee. Let's see. Okay. Kathy Jean, when should we contact our broker? Actually, today, October 1st, is the first time that brokers can talk to their existing clients about the annual enrollment period. So that if you got that ANOC in the mail, or you found out through some other means, maybe your doctor's not taking your plan anymore, things like that, they can talk to you October 1. No changes can be made as far as any sort of paperwork or what have you until October 15th, and that'll go through December 7th, effective January 1st, 2026.
Don't forget Linda King. That looks like a pretty good question for you.
Where's Linda?
Says, hi, I just moved here to the Villages from South Carolina. I have Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I like my supplement plan F. Can I still have it here in Florida at the same price? I'm 75 years old.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is a great, one of the great things about getting a supplement, regardless of where you were when you got it initially, is that it stays with you. And it just makes sense that when you got your Plan F in South Carolina and you could go anywhere, that just because you're in Florida, that shouldn't change where you can go, who you can see, when you want to see them. Plan F has been sunsetted. That means that it's not available anymore. I know that the press back a few years ago made a big deal out of its sunsetting, but to be honest with you, if you took a Plan F and a Plan G, the major differences are Plan F has a higher premium and no deductible, and a Plan G has a deductible and a lower premium. At the bottom, and when you tally it up at the end of the year, they're both the same plans. So anyway, it wasn't they fussed a lot about nothing, but that Plan F is good. The only reason you would even consider changing is if your premium was going to be lower in Florida. I'll tell you one thing, premiums for Medicare supplement are high in Florida, and let's face it, maybe a few calendar pages have flipped since you originally purchased that supplement, and as a result, they would charge you as a 75-year-old brand new person. So stay where you are. I think you'll be very happy there. Laura is talking about maybe going overseas and making that a residence for a period of time.
Laura Lampy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hypothetical, but
I was going to say she ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, you can suspend your Medicare Part B, yes, and then you can tell them to turn it back on, so to speak. My only question, obviously, would be what coverage would you have overseas? Okay, where at the root, at the heart of all this discussion is making sure you have medical coverage. And, if you did go overseas, by the way, there is some overseas coverage for Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement. It's not great. When I say it's not great, that means that there is a limit on the amount that they will pay, somewhere in the neighborhood of $50,000. And it's usually a reimbursement scenario unless you can make arrangements with the provider. So if you went to Spain, you broke your ankle, you had to have pins put in it, you didn't want to come back to the US and have that done, you would get care over there, but it would be up to the provider on how they were going to get paid. They might want the money up front from you, or because you have coverage with a reputable carrier, they may just say, okay, submit the bills to them and have them pay us directly. So I know that got on the travel thing a little bit. One was a resident situation, one was just a visitor. The other thing that you can do, I know we have a lot of cruisers around here. In fact, I think on your Discord page, you have somebody who does cruises for people and all that. And I know it's quite popular.
I got some of the smartest people in the world on my Discord page.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Got bankers on there.
Yeah.
I got nurses on there. I got lawyers. I got several lawyers. One was an international lawyer.
Right.
And
well, let me ask you this question.
I got Medicare people on there.
Yeah, why'd you drop me yesterday then? Off your Discord.
I didn't.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
you said a lot of smart people.
Yeah.
So, but those, the other thing about cruises, okay, or let me just say short excursions, like 2 weeks or less. Look into travel insurance. Seriously, it's good stuff. There are a couple companies. Now remember, this is not healthcare. I can say whatever companies I want to if I'm not doing healthcare. But Allianz, ALLIANZ, and Chubb, CHUBB. Both are very reputable. I know quite a few travel agents and they use those a lot. So again, you can use your Medicare Advantage or Medicare Supplement, but you might want to pick up travel insurance if you're going to, wherever.
I want what the congressman's got, the senators got.
That's
what
FDHB.
I want that.
You got to get elected.
They travel around the world. They don't buy nothing extra.
You got to get elected, Skip. We got to start your campaign.
Okay, and I just buy it. They're paying for it.
No, I don't think that would work.
Laura, did you get Laura versus what happens to people who move out of the United States?
Yeah.
You got that?
Mm-hmm.
It just shows you right there that I'm not paying attention.
That's okay. You've been doing a good job.
Rester says, wait, 1,000% cheaper? They're going to pay us to take their medicine.
There you go. All right. Let's see. Skip's blades work fine. Prostate.
What's wrong with my prostate?
No, they just want you to make sure you get it tested. Especially Racer Girl, which is probably the newest Village's resident, right?
What's that?
Racer Girl?
In my group, yeah. She, I don't know exactly when she bought the house, but she closed on the house, I want to say a couple of days ago, give or take. And so to celebrate, me and Ira and her husband and Ira's wife, we went down to Brownwood at World of Beer down there to listen to another one of my Discord members, JC. He's got a band and he plays here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we went down there and listened to him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably drank one too many drinks. You know how it goes.
Laura, thank you for the update. Looks like she's looking at her news feed while I'm out talking Medicare. Part B premium, the minimum amount for 2026 is going to be $206. That's a little bit of an increase over last year. So
does that include me?
That's you. That's everybody.
You know,
that's the minimum.
What's the use of getting all these raises they keep bragging about when they keep raising everything else and we get back to zero?
Right.
Kind of reminds me of the Teamsters when they negotiate their contract. Well, you guys are going to get this, and you're going to get that, and you're going to go from $12 an hour to $500 an hour. We're giving all this, sign a contract. As soon as we get the contract, well, your insurance is going to double, and this is going to double, and that's going to double.
Yeah. Laura, again, kudos to Laura. She was talking about her Part D plan. you have to have a drug plan.
Do I have a Part D?
Medicare Advantage has it built in. So yes, you do.
Okay.
But if you have original Medicare, just A and D, you have to get a Part D. If you get a Medigap policy, Medicare supplement, you have to get a Part D. Through her efforts, Laura found a zero premium, okay, no premium charge for her drugs. But guess what?
What?
She doesn't take any. Some people think if they don't take any medications that they don't need to get Part D.
Well, I'm going to say, but who's to say next year she may?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That could change. But don't fall down that rabbit hole where you say, hey, I don't have any medications. I don't need to get a Part D. You'll get a penalty. Okay. It's not huge, but get your Part D, even if you never use it, whether you don't have any prescriptions or you get your prescriptions from somewhere else.
That's kind of the way I look at it, looking for a wife. I can't afford to pay somebody to clean my house, so I have to get married. That way she'll do it for nothing. I can't afford to eat out every day, so I got to get married to somebody that can cook. That way she'll cook it for me every day for nothing. I mean, it's logical sense, right?
No comment. I know Sue is watching. No comment.
She can't stop me. She's not here.
All right. I'm just looking through some of these. Just make sure we haven't.
When should we contact our broker? Is October the month to do that? I just signed up. Or you already got that?
I got that.
I am so far behind.
That's okay. Sorry. Let's see.
Did we get them all?
I think we have them all, Skip. Well,
if we did, then we'll just end this early.
Yeah.
Plan F is the best. I don't even know what that is. That is what my dad had.
Yeah.
Never saw a bill when he went to the hospital. My dad was that way when he retired from General Motors. Back when he retired, you got Blue Cross and Blue Shield for life that you didn't pay for. I mean, that was part of the retirement
package. That's a great package, yeah.
And I can recall Dad going to different hospitals for when he got older, of course, and Mom. And basically, other than maybe some minor amounts, but basically they just flopped that Blue Cross or Blue Shield card down there, and that was it. They took care of it.
Yep. Joseph, congratulations. It looks like you're on that FEHB, Federal Employee United Health Plan, and you're all set to go, retiring on October 31st. Well, we will remember you when we're going trick-or-treating in Skip's neighborhood.
Hey, Laura, was you a moderator before? Because when they brought my channel back, all the moderators got kicked off. I didn't do that, by the way. It's just when they gave me my channel back, that's what happened. I had to go through them, and Jerry gave me a list of who was supposed to be a moderator, and I don't know if I got everybody or not. Because not everybody's on here at the same time. So let me know if you're supposed to be a moderator. If you are, then when this is over, I'll go in there and I'll update it again.
Yeah, Jerry must not be on today because he is so good about putting mine.
Well, his wife's here now.
Oh, okay. He has to behave himself.
She tells him what he's going to do and what he ain't going to do.
So for like Denise and Racer Girl, I put my email address, and this is for everybody, but they were asking how they get in touch with me. That's the best one.
Well, you got a YouTube channel of your own.
I do, if I knew the name of it.
Yeah, you don't know. Good God. I'll put it in the description box at the end of this. He's got a YouTube channel.
He's so good about that.
And then you've got email.
I put that in here.
Did you put it in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put my phone number in too.
I'll leave that up to you if you want to do that.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. All right. So I think what I wanted to go over, again, answering the Discord members' questions that they nicely put in prior to our film date here.
Racer Girl wants to know if you charge to meet people.
No.
He's cheap.
I'm frugal. No, I do not. There's no obligation. I love what I do. I mean, just being able to tell or show people, not tell, show people what's best for them. And sometimes they ask me for my recommendation. I will say most times they do, but I always go on the presumption that you tell me what you're looking for. It's up to me to find out if it's available and how you should proceed. So
she says she needs to see you.
Yeah. So I put my, okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Well, I think that's it, Skip. I can't think of anything else that, something might come up. And if it does, again, my email is right down there. At this time of year, it is the best way to get a hold of me.
What does that mean with Joseph Salami?
Yeah. I talked to him.
What does that mean? FEHB.
So the FEHB is the non-military, government-oriented plan that is excellent. It's the federal employee health benefit. And I addressed his situation.
If it's military, why would it cost him $650 a month?
Well, it's for him and his wife, and it's like a supplement.
Yeah.
It's like a supplement.
Supplements cost that much?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
I don't know what I know.
Yes, Skip.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I am sure, Skip. Now, here's the chat. I can put my phone number in here.
Yeah, Denise, you're right. We get one little raise and 15 other things get raised, and we end up getting further behind. I'm going to kill that dog.
One thing, too, you all do so many things as a community and different groups that you're in and people you fellowship with and do life with and things like that. If you ever want, for this discovery meeting that I've been alluding to, if you ever want to, invite one of your neighbors or somebody from one of your clubs or the pool or something like that, obviously privacy is of utmost concern, but if they want to do that, they know that a Medicare person's coming over and maybe they just had a few questions, they don't have a broker, the more the merrier. I've had as many as 4 or 5 people sitting in a living room one day. So just let us know how we can help you.
Get in here. You're making too much noise. That dog ain't going to listen to me anyway.
Okay, I think we're good.
Huh?
I think we're good.
Are we?
Yeah.
Are we done?
I can't think of too much more that we can talk about. Again, I just want to reiterate, I am not affiliated or endorsed by the U.S. government or the federal Medicare program. Plan-specific information was not discussed today. It will be when we get together face-to-face. And even though I don't offer every plan in your area, all of the educational information you received today does cover that broad brush. So thank you very much.
Hey, everybody. Linda's on here. She's having a party for Sue this Sunday for birthday party. So I have no idea about any of it. You'll have to talk to her, where it is, what time is it, and all this and that. So, but she's on here, so you can talk to her. I'll get in trouble for that. She'll say, "Why'd you do that?" Matter of fact, maybe I'll put Linda's email in the description box. You can go email her. I know it's supposed to be at Harry and the Natives.
Yeah.
You going? Sunday.
I will now. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure how big of a table. See, I'm leery about going to these new restaurants and take a group of people. Because not every restaurant here can handle groups of people. Mm-hmm. Harry and the Natives is a new restaurant. I don't think it can handle anything.
Okay. They don't have a freezer, I know that. Or no, microwave or a freezer.
Microwave, maybe a freezer. I don't believe that at all. No, somebody's lying to somebody there. How can a restaurant not have a freezer of some kind?
I remember you saying something like that.
It's just that might be true, but my mind.
By the way, if none of you ever met him face to face, you need to go to one of these events because it's worth the price of admission. It really is.
Why?
Because you're just very entertaining.
Oh well, the last one we went to. Where did we go in the last one? Because you didn't go to it.
The last one I've been to is at Linda's house with Jose.
That wasn't a members lunch. Yeah, that was just once again. That was their
Evans
idea.
Prairie,
I had nothing to do with any of this. Linda just sends me a thing, says, "Hey, me and Jose got together at my house at a certain time on a certain day. We're going to do this egg roll thing, whatever the hell they made. They made empanadas, and
coffee, and Cuban sandwiches,
and cookies. Karen made cookies. So
he didn't have any cookies today. Everybody, got to give him.
Nobody brought me any.
Oh. Linda
don't cook. She don't even cook for Frank. Poor Frank.
How about Roy?
Well, I'm not sure she cooks for Roy either. She hires a private chef to come in and cook for him.
Well, that's okay. Hey, you live a good life, you know?
I don't know. Sometimes I think, I missed out somewhere.
He's kidding, Sue. All right. Yeah. So that's enough. Now we're bitter. We're bantering now.
My idea of having an outside chef is going out in the other refrigerator and bringing in a TV dinner.
Okay. But I can see Wrestler in the background here, our producer, going, stretch. Well, we're all stretched out.
What?
As far as filling time.
No, we're done.
We're done.
I'm just going to go over here and tell everybody goodbye. And I don't know what else to tell them. No. Sue's not here. Harry the Natives target. Linda said, Harry the Natives target is 3 p.m. Target. Sunday, I assume. I don't even know how late they're open. So we were going to do this here 2 weeks ago. The guys.
Yeah.
Girls can't go. But the guys get a hold of me, Jerry and Jose and the rest of them. I said, hey, on Sunday, let's all run and have some ribs over here at Oakwood Fire and Grill.
Yeah, your favorite place.
Yeah, because Jerry just got down here. His wife wasn't here yet, but he was here.
Right.
He said, let's go out. I said, okay, let's go out before your wife gets here, and then she'll ruin everything. Because then she'll want to go. So we go. He calls me up and he goes, hey, I was just looking on the website. They close at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday.
What?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, what?
Well, I thought you learned your lesson by not inviting the ladies, because last time you did that was at Hooters, and they pulled one over on you.
They did.
Yep. Got to be careful.
Well, I shamed them into going. Linda didn't want to go. She said from day one, she said, I just don't want to go to Hooters. I said, have you ever been to one? She said, no, but I just don't. She doesn't like what they represent. She just didn't want to go. I said, well, I'm taking a W&L crew over there. So you have to go. I mean, you may not like the president, but if he invites you to the White House, you have to go. So anyway, she decided to go. Well, the day that we're getting ready to go, Sue's telling me, she said, oh, by the way, Kevin's going to come pick you up and take you over to Hooters. I said, why is he coming over here and picking me up? I mean, you're here.
The car.
Well, she said, well, because we have a meeting over here at Rohan's Rec Center, me and the girls, and we got to go to that first. We don't know how long it's going to take, and we'll meet you over there later. Now I'm pissed. Who in the hell would have a meeting the same day that we're going to have a party over here? So I'm sitting at the table, and as the girls got there, which I didn't pay no attention to that either, they're walking down the sidewalk to come to the front door. All the guys at the table already had their cell phones out, getting ready. And I'm looking at them wondering, what are you guys taking a picture of? Because I'm looking at the wall over there. There's nothing over there.
Mm-hmm.
Except there's a couple of girls, but if you've ever been to this place, there's nothing to see. And pretty soon these girls come walking through the door, and I'm looking at them thinking, oh my God, look at these whack jobs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
that was good. They did a good job.
Yeah, that was funny. And then of course Linda's telling us a story that they were going to do the shirt thing,
Right.
She said, but then she saw these wigs on Amazon. She thought that'd be fun. Mm-hmm. And then time went on. I don't know how long you've been planning this, but time went on, and then she decided the sunglasses would be another feature to add on. And so anyway, and the girls must have had a good time, because before they left, the Hooters girls wanted them all to come over there in that corner so they could all take a picture with them, So, but I'm sure half the people in there that's not from the villages or understands what happens around there, they were probably inside going, "Oh my God, look at this!" I could hear it now.
Oh boy! All right. Well, this took the full time. Good. I'm glad. Oh, man.
All right, so this is it. This is it, guys.
This
He's
is
going to
it.
leave. Done
Yep.
answered all the questions we're going to answer. I know
Yep.
it's not 2 hours long, but I've always said I don't think this needs to be 2 hours long.
No, that's what you told me before.
Nah, too long.
But we kept them going.
I can never see this end button right here with this thing.